This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
I'd like to call the December 13th, 2021 special meeting of the North Haven Board of Education to order at 6 p.m. First item is our discussion concerning the North Haven Public Schools mascot name, and I believe there's going to be a presentation first. Yes. Okay. Want to start?
Yeah, okay. So welcome everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for tuning in if you're at home watching. This has been an exciting few years process that we've been going through, and we have finally come to where we are now. So before we get to the most vote getter through our process, we just kind of wanted to explain the process a little bit and acknowledge the people that have been a really big part of this entire thing. So to begin, we really wanted at the very beginning of this to make it a very transparent process, a process that included people from all over the town. We've included students, residents from North Haven. We have someone who's a resident and a Booster Club representative. Actually, I'm going to name their names if you don't mind. And if you're here, if you want to just kind of raise a hand to just acknowledge the work that you've done, I would appreciate that. So for students, we had Jonathan Chin, Peter Harkins, Ben Rudikoff, and Yasmin, somebody help me with that.
Zareki.
Say it?
Zareki.
Zareki, thank you, Peter. For North Haven residents, we had Mark Genovese and Chrissy Tercio. For North Haven resident and Booster Club representative, Dave Mikas. North Haven resident and Native advisor, Eliane Celaruli. North Haven teachers, we had Anthony Giametti, Anthony Giordano, Bevan Moore, and Amadi Akuosa. For North Haven administrators, we had Steve Blumenthal and Russ Dalai. And Board of Ed reps were Amanda, Gabriel, and myself. So we met every other week beginning in September. And we came around the table with a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different opinions. And I have to say that throughout the process, it was very respectful. Everyone was very communicative. People had questions, people had comments, people gave their opinions, and everyone was heard and respected. And throughout the process, and especially at the end when we had our final meeting, I made sure that everyone was happy with the process and happy with going forward with the plan that we had gone through and all the steps that we had gone through to make sure that everyone could support where we were in the process. So if you could just, Patrick, thank you. So those are all of the people that were a part of it. And then if you could just go to the next one. So just to kind of go through the timeline of the significant dates, in July of 2021, the board voted to retire the Indian mascot. On September 13th, the ad hoc committee was initially formed. September 28th was our first meeting. The 8th through the 12th was our submission week, which was advertised on social media. It was advertised in school newsletters. As much as we got it in newspapers also. So people would submit their ideas. On November 16th, the committee came together and we culled through the submissions and identified the finalists. December 6th through the 10th, people were able to vote, and again, that was online for students in the elementary, middle, and high schools. And residents could also vote online, and then we also had paper ballots at the town hall, library, and senior center, and that was for both the submissions and the voting. We did have some people who were not comfortable showing their proof of residency online, so we had them email us at our mascot email, and Amanda and I made sure that their votes were counted in the total as well. And then today, here we are, December 13th, announcing and presenting the one with the most votes to the board for approval. If you could just go one more. So just again to review and just show everyone, these were the guidelines that we went through. We had over 300 submissions, I believe, initially.
Yep.
And using these guidelines and conversation, we were here for about 2 hours, I would say, 2.5 hours. You know, we got rid of the duplicates. We deleted the ones or got rid of the ones where people in our conference had the same mascot because we didn't want to have the same as someone in our conference. And then, we looked at all of these different guidelines. The students had a huge say in all of this. We all did, we all participated, but we really wanted the students to be behind this and be supportive and proud of what the ultimate vote getter would be. You just go to the next one? Thank you. So the 6 finalists that we had, and we wanted to make sure that they did connect to North Haven in some way. And the explanations are there. That was on the all of the voting forms, online and on the paper ballots, were the Fisher Cats, the Nighthawks, Phoenix, Ravens, Storm, and Wolfpack. So those were the 6. Now I'm going to pass it over to Amanda.
Cool, and now what you guys came here for, math. Let's look at the math, okay? So we asked everybody to choose their top 3 of the 6. Because Mr. Mikus actually had a great thought that we want to make sure that this mascot is representative of more than half of the people for sure. So in the first round of voting, when we look at first choices only, our top vote getter got 55.8% of the votes, which is 4.4 times as much as the next closest vote getter. So that's a clear majority. We also, if you can go to the next slide, we went one step further and we looked at individual people who had our top vote getter as their first or second choice, and that was 75% of the voting population. And we only had 16% of the voting population that did not include our top vote getter in one of their top 3 choices. So this really gives us a great idea that this top vote getting potential mascot really does show a goodwill of the North Haven people. You can go to the next slide. We also wanted to make sure that we had a big enough voting sample to be a statistically significant representation of the North Haven population. So we took a look at towns the size of North Haven and came up with a target. We need at least the number that would make it statistically significant. We beat that number by 8 times. We have a high degree of confidence that this mascot would be very popular within North Haven and that the majority of people would have voted for this. So now before we announce the winner, or not the winner, but the top vote getter to be voted on by us, does anybody have any questions about the process?
I don't think we as a board do. No, I think we're
Well, we wanted to just see if anybody on the board had anything first,
No,
right?
I do have a comment, though. I think it was tremendously well thought out. I think that people worked really, really hard. I'm super appreciative of all the work and time that went into it, and I think that everybody went into it with an open heart and an open mind, and I'm excited about it, and I'm really grateful to the committee.
I agree.
Should we get to it?
Let's get to it.
Well, our students then are going to open, we have a sealed envelope with the top vote getter right here. So if you don't mind opening that up and reading it for everybody.
Top secret.
Feel like you're at the Oscars?
Go ahead.
All right, we're going to be the North Haven Nighthawks.
By George.
Thank you. And I too would just like to say, as chairman and vice chair of the board, and for everyone else on the board, I wholeheartedly thank this committee, the Board of Ed, I thank the students, I thank the public who joined in doing it. It was well thought out, was well run, input went very well respected. I'd also like to thank the administrators of all of our schools for especially those on the little kiddos, getting that out there and getting them to vote and getting them so excited from elementary school straight through to high school. And it's a big change for North Haven. We're looking forward to the change once we vote on this, and we're looking forward to everybody as a community coming together for our new names. So with that, may I have a motion to approve North Haven Nighthawks as the new North Haven High School and North Haven Middle School mascot effective Monday, December 13, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. So our next thing is a matter of adjournment. I do have one, for those that are listening, I'm going out of text a little bit here. I just want to say that we are going to be looking and discussing together as a plan for the artwork. And what will that be? What will the picture look like? I'd like it as a Nighthawk to have some sort of imagery, not of a Native American, but something that constitutes a Native American in our town, because that's what we said when we retired our original mascot, so we can look at how we can do that, and we will work with Aileen? Yep. We will work with Aileen and others to find something that's appropriate to represent the North Haven Nighthawks. So with that, did I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting closed. This has to be the quickest Board of Ed meeting we've ever had.
12 minutes.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.